So today we're looking at the law of direction. The law of direction. One thing I've always said here is that there are two things that when you have superiority over, these two things can influence the rest of your life positively. When you have superior knowledge and you have superior direction. What do I call superior direction? This is anybody who manifests superior direction. You are somebody that you have established and you have ascertained clearly your vision and the path you have chosen for the rest of your life. And there is this personal opinion I always share, which is not a fact, it's an opinion. I always share that any young person who has clocked 25 years, if you have clocked 25 or you're about to clock 25, one of the biggest gifts that you can give yourself is for you to choose the path that you will take for the rest of your life. Is for you to choose the industry that you will take for the rest of your life. And I can say it better from my experience. I picked up this industry and I made a decision at the age of 22. I always say that one of my biggest blessings was that I discovered my path at a very early age, and I decided to pursue that path for the rest of my life. When I say 22, it means that when I started full time, but when I picked the path at the age of 20 or so. It is very critical. Direction is both spiritual and professional. And somebody always say that speed in the wrong direction is an enemy of progress. There are many young people running very fast, but in the wrong direction. They will have to come back and start from square one. And I have seen that even in mentorship, there are many people who have met me that they have been doing a lot of things totally in the wrong direction. Like 3 years or 4 years or 5 years in the wrong direction. They have to keep away what they've been doing and start back from square one. And here's what I've discovered also. When they start back from square one in the right direction, what they used to struggle to achieve in 2 years, they start achieving in 6 months, 8 months, and even 1 year, and they produce tremendous results. So successful people have a clear sense of purpose and direction in every area of their lives. Now, I want to focus more on every area of their lives. Yes, you can have direction, you can have a sense of purpose regarding your finances, regarding your career, regarding your relationships, regarding your international career, regarding your kind of friends you want to keep, regarding any important area, regarding your family, regarding your family. I was looking at something to show my mentees in our last session. I have purpose statements around everything that's important in my life. I have purpose statements about the kind of father I want to be. I have a purpose statement about the kind of husband I want to be. I have a purpose statement about my financial life. I have a purpose statement about my career. Then there's the overall purpose statement, which these sub-purpose statements are created from this major purpose statement. There's just a way that it orchestrates your daily life, it orchestrates your daily momentum, and you don't get to live life on chance. That's why there are some things that by default, I cannot do them. By default, because it is not part of my main purpose or direction or even my sub-direction. And there are some things that by default, I naturally do, because they have been ascertained as a critical part of my direction or the purpose that I've written down to manifest. So do you have a clear sense of direction in all the important areas of your life? Have you really sat down and ascertained them? Or you are allowing the law of accident, which you handled yesterday, to be the order of your day in some key important areas of your life? If you study anybody who have been able to go the extra mile and produce incredible results. Check one thing about them. They are very clear about what they want. When it comes to direction and what they're pursuing, they don't do things like maybe or maybe not. They are very certain that this is it. This is it. They have peace in their heart pursuing a particular journey. They have peace in their heart pursuing a particular direction. If there is one thing you can seek advice about, you can seek prayers for, you can seek mentorship and coaching for, seek direction. As a coach, one thing I have learned as a consultant is many people pay the highest fee, especially successful people. They pay the highest fee to get direction. Yesterday, I had a client from Yaoundé who came to Yaoundé for a 2-hour session. He refused a virtual session. He said, I want to see you face to face. All he needed was direction. There was a woman who came one time for a session, and she said, I just want to tell you what I want to do for the next 10 years. I want to tell you my 10 years plan. All I need you to do is tell me that I am in the right direction or not. That's all she wanted. And she paid for a 2-hour coaching session. She was not looking for advice. She was not looking for anything. She only wanted to see, Joybert, this is my goal for the next 10 years. This is my plan for the next 10 years. I will elaborate all of it. You listen carefully. You can ask me a few questions, but I just need peace in my heart that I am doing the right thing. People go the extra mile. Even me, I'll go the extra mile to pay for direction. That's why there are some people that will fast and pray, not for open doors, not for money, not for cars, not for houses, but they will just fast and pray for direction. Direction speed in the right direction can give you any other breakthrough you're looking for. You've got to make sure that you master the law of direction. Your ability to set clear, specific goals for yourself in every area of your life will do more to guarantee your higher levels of success and achievement than any other single skill or quality. That's how important direction is. And goal setting is a critical element in enhancing the law of direction. You will only give direction to your day if you have a priority of goals. You only give direction to your week, to your month, to your year, if you have set specific goals. Setting goals to enhance direction have been recognized as one of the most highest quality skills in the journey of success. Absolute clarity about what you want in your career, in your business, in your life, in your relationship is the starting point of all great achievement. Is the starting point of all great achievement. If you start the wrong way, you will not even end the wrong way. You will give up halfway. You will crash halfway. I always say something. The most dangerous young person on earth is a young person who has discovered his or her purpose and have made up his or her mind never to give up. Fear that young person. They can do and undo because they have nothing to fear. They have no distraction. They have no regret. They have only one option: to win at the highest level in this direction that they have chosen. The question I have for you is, are you certain? Have you ascertained? Have you established the clear path that you want to chase for the rest of your life, especially career and business? You can't stop doing tomorrow. You're growing old every day. You're losing hours every day. You need to be worried that if you spend an hour not doing something relevant, you should be worried, you should cry. You're losing something you cannot buy. That's one thing we should fear about time, man. That's one thing you should be afraid about, the minutes and hours that God has given us. You cannot buy it back. You cannot buy it back. That's the only asset you cannot buy back. It's gone. So you cannot spend time wasting your life and doing the wrong things and operating in the wrong direction and thinking you still have time. You don't have time. You don't. You're 20, think you have time. You don't. You're at 32, you have time. You don't have time at 30. Guys are at 40 and they're wishing they were still at their 20s. They're wishing for more. And that's why Brian Tracy says that the more definite and focused you are, the easier it is for you to make better decisions on your priorities and the use of your time. The more definite you are about the direction, the more focused you are about the direction, the easier it is for you to make better decisions on your priorities and the use of your time. The more time you spend on your most important goals, the more you accomplish and the better you get at accomplishing even more. Do you want to increase your chances of accomplishing more results in your life, career, business? You need to ascertain and amplify the law of direction in your life. Don't start a business when you are not ready to build a long-term career in that business. That's why you need to be very careful. You need to be very careful about that. And one of the biggest things that really aches me personally is when I see somebody who's above 30 and we are still trying and error. You're still trying to do things here and there. You're not committed at the kind of path that you want to live for the rest of your life. At the age of 30, you have entered your prime. Even spiritually, at the age of 30, there's some level of grace and favor and open doors opened over your life that if you just take advantage of this and push certain things, they will start manifesting. You can even check examples in the Bible. A lot of things that Joseph did at the age of 30, a lot of things that Jesus only did at the age of 30. There are some things I used to wish for that never happened in my 20s. But when I clocked 30, when I celebrated 30 birthdays, a lot of those things open up. A lot of those things open up, especially global opportunities. I desired them so badly at the age of 22, in my 20s. They did not show up. But immediately I clocked 30, a lot of them, 80% of what I desired opened up. And one thing about age of 30 is that you clock that age when you are still confused. If people clock the age of 30, they're still drinking and getting drunk. They're still hanging in nightclubs. They're still chasing one woman up and down. They're still, women are still doing focusing on makeups and buying the latest dresses and wearing. If that's still your priority at the age of 30, you're wasting a lot of opportunities and a lot of graces and favors that have been released at that particular age. Direction is very critical in your biggest breakthroughs that you're looking for. God will not give you breakthroughs when you're confused. Even as parents, no parent likes to give an inheritance to a confused kid. You're a boy and your father is successful and you think he's going to give you all the open doors and all the endorsements when all you do is move around and drink and get drunk and hang out with your year boys and quarter girls and some area boys up and down. He's not going to confidently give you anything. You don't deserve it. You have no direction. You've got no direction. If there is one thing, if you are confused about anything, please, I want to charge you today. Invest time. Invest time to discover your path. Invest time to decide on the direction. Time, what I'm saying, investment, you can pray about it. You can pay for a coaching session. You can talk to a mentor, talk to an elderly person, but intentionally invest to ascertain that you are in the right direction. That's very critical for your success. And that's why it is ascertained and agreed that the more time that you spend on your most important goals, the more you accomplish and the better you get at accomplishing even more. For there to be motivation, there must be a motive. Fully 85% of your motivation is determined by the consequences that you anticipate or the things you hope to achieve as a result of what you do. The more clear you are about what you want, the more motivated and determined you will be to accomplish it. Yeah. Many young people like to ask me, how did you know that you will succeed as a trainer, as a speaker, and as a consultant? Especially young people that want to build a career in this path. Because this is a career path that at the beginning, it is hard. At the beginning, you can spend 6 months and nobody's calling you to come and speak because nobody knows you and nobody trusts you. You have no credibility. You have no reputation. You have no brand. So nobody cares about you. Nobody cares about what you know that much. So it tends to be so hard. But if there is one thing that saved me, I shared in one of the days, one thing that saved me was that I made a very clear decision that, you see this, I will find a way and make it work. If not, I will keep doing it for the rest of my life and I keep failing on it. I will keep failing at this thing until I get it right. I'll keep living hand to mouth until I start making the millions I can make of this thing. I remember the day I made this decision. Before 2016, I started the speaking and all of this in 2012 fully. Between 2012 and 2016, I still used to try to do this and look for a job. So I'm trying, while I'm doing all of this, I'm looking for a job, trying to get a good job and all of that. But in 2016, I said, okay, you know what? It's this or nothing. All this energy you're wasting and all this confusion and all of that, you just got to stop. I remember the day I made this particular decision. Okay, you know what? 100% effort and energy. There was even nothing like passive income, secondary income, nothing. It is this or nothing. Did I have money? No, I did not. But one of the best things I did was that I decided on the path I want to do for the rest of my life. And it changed a lot of things. A lot of things changed. It was then in 2017, then I had one of my biggest contracts ever to consult for an NGO for 3 years. There are a lot of blessings and breakthroughs that are only opened up to you when you are in the path of your purpose, when you are in the when you're in the right path that you have also chosen with everything inside of you, your mind, your spirit, your body, your thinking, everything about you is dedicated to that particular path. Is dedicated to that particular path. There's complete dedication to it. You are not struggling. You are not trying an error. You are not trying, is it going to work? It's not going to work. Even if it's not working, there's one thing you have ascertained, that this is the path you want to take. This is your path. You want to invest your time, resources, and everything you've got for the rest of your life. And when you decide this particular direction, there is a level of motivation. There's a level of determination. See, guys, there's a level of determination and resilience that is only commanded when you know you have no plan B. When you know that you have chosen a path and this is the path where your impact lies, your success lies, all the money you're looking for lies, all the fame and the breakthroughs and the open doors and the popularity and the influence and the reputation, everything lies in that path. And let me tell you something, every destiny, every purpose has all these things that we are looking for. If you have chosen to be an excellent farmer, all the reputation, all the blessings, all the fame, all the awards are in that path for you as a farmer. If you have chosen music, if you have chosen to be an author, to write poems and read those poems, if you have chosen restoration and tourism, all of these things, every path on earth has excellence attached to it, has awards and celebrations and money and fame and reputation and a strong brand. There is no path that is not needed. It is your responsibility to make it relevant that nobody can ignore it. That is your responsibility. And it takes hard work. It takes sacrifice. It takes some level of determination and motivation and resilience and the refusal to give up when you have every single reason to give up on that path. So you have to resolve to do something every day to move yourself towards the attainment of one or more of your most important goals in your direction. For you to produce results in the direction that you have chosen, daily work on your goals, daily commitment towards your goals enables you to develop and maintain a certain degree of momentum. So my charge for you is choose your path. Make a clear decision about the direction you want to do, you want to go through. And one of the best ways to do this is for you to set goals around that direction. Set daily goals and weekly goals and Monday goals. They get to help you a lot. Create your 10-year plan. I remember in 2015, I wrote out some things that I want to achieve between 2015 and 2025. And that particular 10-year plan has helped me a lot. This is 2022. And I am I'm meeting every goal every year based on what I wrote. In 2020, I wrote my 2020 plan. Even for the organization for BMD Africa and even COSDEF Group, there are projects which are 10 years projects that we are focusing on implementing. There's just a lot of power when you do that. When you choose a direction, there's one thing that happens. It's like the universe conspires and begin to release the things that you need to walk through that path. You start getting the people that you need to assist you. You start getting the resources in one way or the other. You start getting the support and the endorsement. You start getting the right friends coming into your life. And when they come in, they always bring in something that can contribute to you manifesting that thing that you desire. So you've got to make sure, I want to challenge you, sit down. It could be 5 years, it could be 1 year, it could be 2 years, it could be 10 years. The one sign that you have chosen a direction is that you have long-term goals that can span as long as 10 years or 15 years. You have 10 years with leadership plan. You have 10 years goals, career goals and business goals, well structured with deadlines, with things you have to achieve in the second year, with things you have to achieve in the 5th year, in the 6th year, in the 7th year, until the 10th year. And if you are somebody who pays attention to patterns in the Bible, you understand that there are things that some dreams and that God used to give kings and prophets. They used to talk about in the 7th year of this, in the 10th year of this, in the this. There's a lot of power in, not like spiritual power, when you start operating from that dimension. Don't just live life like this is the day the Lord has made, let's be rejoiced. Okay, good. And so what? What happens after tomorrow? What happened next week? What happens the other week? You are not in control of your life if you don't have certain mechanisms designed around the direction that you have chosen to walk. You don't have the right control. You are not doing it the right way. You get the point? So we need to start making the decision. This is strongly for people that you are still confused, you're still everywhere. And if you're still allowing people to dictate, yes, last year you were trying to do this because your parents said you should do it. This year you're trying to do this because your elder brother or sister said you do it. Next year you are going to do it because your friends suggested. You are just everywhere. In 3 years, you have tried like 16 things. Nothing to show for specifically. If I ask you, can you show me the growth, direct growth that you have recorded in the last 3 years? You cannot show me a pattern. Can you show me the progress you have specifically recorded in the last 5 years? You cannot show me clearly, this is where I was, this is where I am right now, in this particular path or direction. It reduces your chances of success so greatly as far as your life is concerned. Okay, let's look at the second law for today. We're looking at the law of compensation. The law of compensation. This law is very important. This law is very, very important, especially in your financial life. Very important. The law of compensation states that you are always fully compensated for what you do, positively or negatively. Every action you take, either positively or negatively, you will receive some form of compensation. You will always be compensated. If you wake up at 4 a.m. and study, at 5 a.m. you're attending the coaching session, that is a positive thing that you have done. You will be compensated in one way or the other. Compensation will come your way. If you go and sit somewhere and you backstab, you lie about somebody, you destroy somebody, you do things about, you will be compensated negatively. The law of sowing and reaping will speak for you, good or bad. This is where people talk about the law of the karma. There's always karma. Because as you plant it, you will reap it. That's why you need to be careful about what you plant. That's why some people say that the things you do unto others, you do unto yourself. They understand the law of compensation. They understand the law of sowing and reaping. If you go and gather, you're trying to pull somebody down, you may pull somebody down today, it works for you, but 10 years after, so that you will be compensated in your own coin. There is perfect justice in the world, at least in the long term. You get the point. There are some things you may do against people, for example, and it may not speak against you right now. But trust me, you'll be compensated in the short term, medium term, or in the long term. But in one way or the other, you'll be paid back in your own coin. Whatever you put in, you get out. The more you give, the more you receive. That's why one of the most powerful laws on earth is the law of giving. The law of godly giving, the law of positively giving out to somebody. The law of, it must not be money, it could be your time, your resources, your teaching. So if it is your responsibility to always find a way, how can I give into the universe? How can I give to different people in different directions to the universe? If you want to increase the quality and the quantity of your rewards, you must increase the quality and the quantity of your contribution to a society, to a group of people, to a community. Do you want to increase your rewards from today? You must increase the quality and the quantity of your contribution. What are you contributing to the universe? What are you contributing to the society? What are you contributing to a group of people? What are you contributing? And this way, it also affects the law of direction, like in your career and business. When you have chosen the direction, you also discover that in that direction, there are a group of people that you are called to serve. There's a society, there's a community you are called to serve. So when you intentionally focus on positive contribution, you intentionally focus on positive investment, the law of compensation will work for you in a positive direction. Zig Ziglar, one of the most prominent speakers, once said that you can have anything you want in life if you just help enough other people get what they want. You can have anything you want in life if you just help enough other people get what they want. I can practically talk about that. There are a lot of things I have received in my life, things that I never even dreamed I will have them. Not because of anything special, but just because I choose to give back like this. We're doing all these morning sessions every morning of coaching. There's no fee that you're paying, right? It's intentional. It's another way to give back intentionally. You intentionally create platforms to give back to a society, give back to a group of people. Maybe just sitting and going to the orphanage to give back to those kids. The law of compensation works for you. Giving back to an elderly parent, giving back even to your own family, to your own siblings. The universe will still compensate you even though they are your blood. You deciding to focus on the quantity and the quality of goodness that you bring and you contribute plays a very big role in your life. the law of compensation will work for you. And this law doesn't need your permission to be activated. When the time comes for it to work, it works. That's why there are some people that when you're stranded in life, nobody steps up from nowhere and saves you and supports you and blesses you. The law of compensation was activated by God on the universe for your sake. The significance of reaping today as far as your life is concerned, whatever blessings, whatever challenges, whatever thing you're going through right now as a blessing or as a challenge, majority or categorically, it is based on what you have sown in the past. This talks about the hard work you have been putting. This talks about the studies you have been doing. This talks about the dedication. This talks about what you have been doing as far as your career is concerned in the last 5 years, in the last 10 years. Whatever you're reaping right now as blessings or as challenges is based on that. It's based on the decisions you made or you did not make, or the careless things that you made. The way there are people who sit and talk to you, I really regret that all I could do was move around and party with friends. I regret all I could do was to drink and get drunk and go back home at 3 a.m. in the night. I regret all of those things. I regret all I did trying to hurt people in the past. I regret, there are many regrets. I can say this on you with facts because I am a coach. People come and sit and they tell me what they're going through. They're trying to rebuild back. And many a times, you say, oh, it's just because of wrong decisions. You're like, you're where you are because of wrong decisions. You're where you are because you messed up in your past. You are living life by activating the law of accidents around you. And all the regret, I wish I didn't do this. I wish I stopped doing this. I wish I learned this early on. I wish this was not part of me. I wish they are wishing for a lot of things. But the good news is, as somebody said, one of the most incredible innovations in human history is that any human being can alter their character, alter their behavior, and decide to become better at any moment. That is the biggest innovation in the universe. You can decide and become better from this day henceforth. Develop the right character, the right attributes, the right way of living, the right patterns of life, and alter the course of your life for good. And the law of compensation will also start compensating you based on the goodness you have started contributing back into the society. If you want to reap something more or different in the future, you have to sow something more or different or better in the present. As simple as that. If you want to start reaping something better 10 years from now, 5 years from now, 2 years from now, even just next month, you need to discipline yourself and start sowing something different today in this your particular present moment. Now, Ralph Waldo says that the longer you put in without getting out, the greater will be your return when it finally comes. When you consistently put in. Now, there are some things that when you're doing, don't just focus, oh, you know what, it's not working. There are some things that you can consistently do for 5 years without seeing the immediate result. But trust me, it doesn't mean that compensation will not happen. Like I'm telling you, there are many things I have done like for 5 years between 2015 and 2020, and nothing was in the atmosphere like a single blessing based on the things that I was doing. But it doesn't mean that I was not filling my bank. It was being filled, but just that it was not time yet for it to manifest. There are some things that when they happen right now, I'm like, wait, these are things I used to do and wish they happened 5 years ago. But it is now that they are happening. It is now that they are happening. It's now that they are manifesting. So that's what Ralph Emerson is saying here, that the longer you put in without getting out, the greater will be your return when it finally comes. You know, there are some of you right now, you're studying every day. Oh, trust me, I used to study like that too. See, today I even still study. I remember between 2012 to 2017, when nobody knew me by then, the highest thing I used to do was study. I used to go to bed at 11 p.m. I wake up at 2 a.m. What was I doing? Studying. I will read books like that we're reading right now. I read this book for the first time in 2016 or 15. I have a folder that I've been carrying with me from one laptop to another. These are the folders that I used to feed up. Let me show you proof. Where's that stuff? Let me show you guys something. This folder is one of my oldest folders in my soft. This folder, this is one of the folders. You see here, it has 763 items. I have a combined 15,000 books. And these are books I gathered them in 2012 and 13, majority, 80% of them. Different books, magazines, business magazines. Open this 64, all these folders, some have like 200, how many books and so on and so forth. I will focus on feeding on them. This is the book we're treating right now, this particular book, this one. These are all books for different reasons, different purposes. I will focus on feeding on them. But who knew me? Nobody. But the law of compensation states that the longer you put in without even getting out of that particular time. Let me tell you guys, there was knowledge I was in Kumu by then. There was knowledge I used to have that if I go and teach in the village, nobody will understand. I will write the concepts and keep them. I have written concepts somewhere, I wrote them like 5 years ago. If I taught in my environment at that time, nobody will understand. But those same concepts, when I took that, I go teach in every country, I go teach in South Africa, Egypt, and other countries, they get to understand it. But I was preparing myself for a time that will come. That's the law of compensation. You understand that, look, what you're doing right now, you may not be compensated now, but hey, you will be compensated in time to come. So don't give up. We're in the place of time and process in creating the success that you desire. You need to understand that organizations are continually looking for ways to improve the quality and the quantity of their offerings to the universe. If you want to thrive, if you want to thrive in life, you want to thrive in that sector, you want to thrive as a professional, as a business person, this must be a core part of your process. Successful individuals and organizations are continually looking for ways to improve the quality and the quantity of their offerings to the target market, target population, and target society. They continually seek ways to add value to serve their customers better than anyone else, because they are not just doing it to please the customers or to please their target. They are doing it because they understand that they will be compensated. The universe and heavens will gather and compensate them someday for that. The question is, when your time will come, will you be compensated? There are many people waiting for compensation without investing quality and quantity. That's why there are many guys that are born on the same, they were born the same year. But let me tell you, when they will clock 30 and 40, they will never harvest the same blessings. They will never harvest that. It is not about, this is not just about where you were born. It's not just about the family you were born in. It's about a law that is older than you and I. As I keep telling you guys, there are some laws that you cannot fight. There are some laws that your responsibility is to sink yourself and enhance that law and practice it and see it happen for you. Our forefathers practiced it. Our parents did it, some they didn't even know about it. And this is one thing that many African parents are poor. They did not know certain laws that produce results. They were living life based on guesswork and assumptions, try and error. There are many of our parents that they do not do things. That's why there are some things that you can produce in a year. If you give your parents in their time, they will take 10 years to produce. There are young people right now that in a year, they make 50 million francs in income. Their parents could not raise that money in their lifetime. The difference is the knowledge they have access to. The difference is the quality and the quantity of work that they have put into the universe, into the industry, that the law of compensation start working in their favor. What are you putting in? What are you investing? What are you building forward? Because tomorrow, time will come for you to be compensated. And trust me, you will only be compensated based on the contribution that you contributed in the last 5 years, 3 years, 7 years, whatever that you do. That's why I keep telling mentees, I will start respecting you, that you deserve whatever you're working towards when you have done certain things every day for at least 4 years. Because trust me, when you go deeper and start analyzing the law of compensation, there's a place of time. There are some things that until you do continuously for a number of years, forget about handling certain results. I always try to do this, and I talk about some of these companies with respect. There are many of us that, like Zoom, many of us knew Zoom the last year or 2 years, but Zoom was a company that started working on Zoom in 2012 and 14. There are many people that know about WhatsApp just like 3 years ago, but WhatsApp was a 2011 idea. There's always a place of time and consistently creating value where until the fullness of time comes, that the Bible says, some things will never manifest. And that's why there are many people that they clock 40 without nothing to show for. Do you know why? They did not pick out one thing. They did not respect the law of direction, and they did not do certain things consistently for at least 4, 5, 7 years. So the universe has nothing to bless them with. And I always challenge people, go and study guys who have made it. They have not put in not less than 7 years in a particular direction. Go and study them from Africa to Europe to America. Take time and study them. In 2020, I took time and I was studying 200 top billionaires. I wanted to know something. I was looking at the patterns of their lives. And let me tell you, all of those 200 guys, there is nobody that has been that has put in less than 7 years. Nobody. Majority are 15 years and above in their craft. When I was writing my book, From Average to Unforgettable, I took out time and I talked to some of my guys who have been well, like in their various countries, young change makers and bulldozers from Lagos to Johannesburg to Nairobi to Kigali. I spoke to these guys who are top of in their countries at a young age. And let me tell you something, I discovered one thing. Many of them have been doing what they have been doing for not less than 5 to 6 years before it got them to the top. And when it's time for the law of compensation to act, they are compensated in the coin based on the contribution that they gave back into the society quantitatively and qualitatively. When the fullness of time will come, what will be the size of your compensation? And for you to answer that question, check the size of your contribution. All right, people, you can take in a few comments and questions, and we'll round up in 10 minutes.